Welcome to What If It All Goes Right, the podcast where we flip the script on obstacles and turn them into opportunities. I'm Angela Gargano, 6-time American Ninja Warrior, Miss Fitness America, keynote speaker, and someone who knows firsthand what it's like to face setbacks and wonder, is this for me? I've torn my ACL on national television, worked the 12-hour overnight shifts as a biochemist, and battled my own doubts about how to chase my goals while juggling life's chaos. But through it all, I've learned one powerful truth. It's not about avoiding challenges. It's about how you view them. The difference between success and staying stuck, it's all in your mindset and what you do next. This podcast is here to remind you that every single person you admire has faced obstacles. The real magic happens when you decide to see those hardships as stepping stones to something greater. Each week, we'll dive into powerful stories and practical tools and mindset shifts to help you take control of your life and ask the big question, what if it all goes right? You'll leave each episode empowered, inspired, and equipped with the actionable steps to create the life you've been dreaming of. Because the truth is, you're stronger than you think, and your obstacles are just opportunities in disguise. Let's rewrite your story together. Get ready to feel inspired, take action, and see what happens when you start asking, what if it all goes right? Welcome back to What If It All Goes Right, the podcast so we stop waiting, stop doubting, and start taking action toward the life we want. I'm your host, Angela Gargano, and today we're diving in to the T in the right framework. And this is part 9 of the What If It All Goes Right series. So if you haven't already, I highly suggest you go back and you listen to part 1 and start from the beginning. But yeah, it's been such a journey, and I'm so excited that we've made it to this final step, which is the T in the right framework, which is taking delusional action. And notice how I didn't say just take action. I said take delusional action. But I want to go through a quick recap of what we've been working on in the What If It All Goes Right series. You can go back, like I said, in the other episodes and learn more about this. But the R, recognize and feel, understanding where you are at and giving yourself permission to process it. The I, identifying what you want and getting crystal clear on what success even looks like for you and what you're in control of. G, setting that game plan, laying out the steps you need to take instead of just feeling overwhelmed by the entire process. H, holding on to the adaptable mindset because challenges will come and resilience is key in getting through them, being radically adaptable. But here's the thing, none of that matters if you literally don't take action. We can sit with our ideas, we can map out our perfect plan, but if we don't move, if we don't start, then we're just going to stay stuck. And I get it. Sometimes when you're feeling stuck or lost, taking action feels super impossible. It feels pointless because your brain is in protection mode, screaming at you about every worst case scenario that is possible. But the only way out is through it. And today, we're going to be taking and breaking down exactly how you can start taking action, how to do it in a way that doesn't feel overwhelming, and how to lean into that wild, delusional belief that maybe everything's just about to go right for you, or it's been going right all along. So let's dive in. So you ever notice when you're stuck in your head, sitting still just really makes it worse? And my assistant loved the word that I used today where you're ruminating. You're literally just the thoughts are just going and spiraling over and over again, right? So you're spiraling, you're overthinking. You convince yourself at every reasons why something is not going to work. And before you know it, an entire day or a week or a month has gone by and you literally have not done one damn thing. Come on, for a second here, as you're listening, yes, been there. I know it's happened to me many times. But the moment you move, even just a little bit, the energy shifts. Now, I see this all the time with my pull-up revolution girls. So many of them come to me saying, I'll never be able to do this. I'll never be able to get a pull-up. They stare at the pull-up bar like it's an impossible mountain to climb. But I don't let them just sit in that doubt. Before we even attempt to pull up, I make them dance it out for a full minute, literally dance it out, get the movement out, shake it out, the nerves to get out of their head, and tap into this delusional confidence for a second. We'd gone through that in one of the parts here in this training where I tell you all about shaking it out, getting out of your head. And guess what? When they step up to that bar after, they always do better than they thought because motion creates momentum. I'm going to say that again. Motion creates momentum. Movement disrupts doubt. So if you're sitting there today overthinking, feeling stuck, I want you to move. It doesn't have to be perfect. It doesn't have to be massive, but take one step and then another, because action, even the smallest bit, is what gets you out of your head and into your progress. Now let's talk about what I mean by delusional action. Delusional action means taking steps forward before you feel fully ready. Let's be clear here. We're probably never going to feel fully ready for whatever it is that we want to do. It means showing up for the dreams, even when part of you still doubts that it's possible. It's about asking yourself, what if I just acted like success was inevitable? What if I just did the one thing before I felt 100% confident? Because let me tell you something, you will never feel fully ready. Even big steps that I've taken in my life, I wasn't ready at all. Not when I first competed on American Ninja Warrior, not when I tore my ACL and had to rebuild everything, not when I pivoted my whole entire business, shifting from just fitness to speaking and podcasting. I literally was not ready, but I just did it anyway. And I did it a little messy. I just went for it. And that's what I want for you. You do not have to be fearless. You don't have to have it all figured out. You just have to be willing to try, even if it feels a little bit delusional. Now, I know what you're thinking, Angela. Okay, this sounds great, but how do I actually do it? Like, what do I actually do? Like, how do I even start? It's like, hey, everyone, be delusionally confident and take action. You're like, well, what do I do? Help me. Here's how you can break it down so it doesn't feel overwhelming. Number one, you're going to start with one small action. Not 10, not 5, just one. I know it's going to be really easy as leaders here, as overachievers, right, to have a full list set up. I'm going to do all of these things. I'm going to take all of these actions. But what's one thing you can do today that moves you even just an inch closer to your goal? And 2, I want you to make it stupidly simple. You might have heard the saying before, keep it simple, stupid. If it's too complicated, you won't do it. You want to get stronger? Start with one push-up. You want to launch a business? Start with buying a domain name. You want to get out of a rut? Just go for a 5-minute walk. Celebrate tiny wins like they are huge. That's number 3. If you're working on your first pull-up, don't just celebrate when you finally did it. Celebrate the first time you hang a little bit. Celebrate the first time you get a slight bend in your elbow. Celebrate every single step, because when you celebrate progress, you start enjoying the process. And the whole point here, when you're taking this delusional action, is to enjoy the process. We so often get so caught up in what the end game is that we're trying to achieve right now, and we're taking action. And we think that if we're not taking action and we're not seeing the end result immediately, that we are failing. But is that true? It's not. It's not true. Just by taking a small step every single day, you are totally winning. And by taking delusional action, you are going to have to start before you're ready. You are going to need to do stuff that you've never thought you could do before. You're going to have to do it messy. I remember someone had said before, even with the podcasting, your first 30 podcast episodes are probably going to suck. And I'm like, you know what? Screw it. I'm going to go do it. I'm going to do it anyway. I'm going to start the podcast because I want to do it. I remember someone saying to me, oh, well, you should get a nice camera, make it all fancy and do all the fancy things. And I'm like, if I have to do all those things, I'm never actually going to get started. I'm never going to actually believe I can do this. So instead, I'm going to start messy. I'm just going to take that one small step forward. I'm going to get a little better each time. And I'm going to celebrate each messy part of the process, every piece that I'm learning through podcasting, through life, through whatever it might be. That's exactly what I want you to do. Now, I want to share a quick story with you on some delusional action that I had taken. And I shared this at a keynote I did back in 2022. And I think a lot of women thought that was super funny, because I said, in order to push past and to do something hard, sometimes you got to be a little crazy. And being a little crazy isn't a bad thing. So I wanted to be on the cover you see here of Women's Health magazine. And in 2016, I photoshopped myself on the cover of the magazine. And I wanted to find a way to somehow contact this magazine and tell them, like, look how awesome I am. I'm a fitness person. I want to be on the cover. So I went on to oxygenmagazine.com. I found every single email that I can find. Every email, like accounting at oxygenmagazine.com, info, oxygenmagazine.com. And I messaged every single email. And I sent them a screenshot of my vision board with me photoshopped on the cover. And I can't remember what I wrote out. I wrote a whole thing maybe about myself or whatever. I mean, I totally did it the wrong way. When you're really not supposed to just ask for stuff like that right away, right? You're supposed to create a real relationship and lead with value and all that stuff. But I know I just went in and I full-fledged was like, hey, this is my goal. I want to be on the cover of Oxygen magazine. I wrote a whole thing out. And I kept following up. following up with these emails. I had it in my calendar every single like couple weeks, follow up. No one was answering, until finally I got a message. And it was from the editor-in-chief of Oxygen magazine. She said to me, Angela, I see that you're living in Rhode Island. I actually live in Connecticut, and we're looking for someone to shoot for Oxygen magazine for a little spread. Are you available? Obviously, I'm like, yes, I'm available, whatever you need. I drive over to Connecticut. And I tell you, I kid you not, the first Oxygen magazine shoot I had, it wasn't the cover, was doing wrist exercises. I still have the magazine. And this photo shoot was done in a church basement. A church basement. But it was because I took delusional action. I had a delusional moment of confidence in myself that I was able to do that. And that was just like, I had a moment. You know when you have like a moment where you randomly like are confident? I'm like, I'm going to use it. I'm confident right now. I'm just going to do it. Why not? Like, After I was like, wait, should I have sent that? I don't know. But I did it, right? And if I didn't take that delusional action, I would have never had the relationship that I had with the editor-in-chief of Oxygen magazine. Her and I started to become very close. I actually started to help her a ton with other stuff. Like she needed help finding models. I had a great group of fitness friends that I knew that I would always refer to. She needed help finding makeup artists in the area. I helped her with that. I helped her with so many different things. And every year I'd always ask her about the cover. It always kind of hinted in there. And I kind of forgot about it for like 2 years. I'm like, okay, maybe I'm not going to get the cover, but I'm going to continue to help and support this relationship. I really love this editor-in-chief. She was awesome. I also even helped her found like a main photographer to help her with the magazine. And I remember looking down at my phone one day and seeing a message from her saying, Angela, I have an opportunity for you. Are you open to it? I was like, yeah, absolutely. What is it? She said, we're going to be doing this series and it's going to include X, Y, and Z. She's like, also, ... It includes a cover. That was in 2021. I did my delusional action in 2016. And then in 2021, I got the cover. Years later. Let me tell you something. I'm so happy I took that delusional action. I'm also so happy that I didn't get the cover right away. Because the person I became throughout that journey of not having the cover and getting the cover was so much bigger and brighter, right? The girl in 2016 was a girl who just wanted to be in a cover and be another like hot girl in the front of a magazine. But this girl, in 2021, she had gone through some shit. She had torn her ACL. She had pushed through challenges. And that story, the story that I had in this article, in this cover, was life-changing for so many women. So I'm so happy I took that delusional action. I'm also so happy that I didn't get instant gratification because I needed that journey. I needed that path. And you might have something similar that's happened to you. Maybe something hasn't happened to you right away, but you took a delusional action, and remind yourself of that. Because if you did it once, you're going to be able to do it again. And wow, I'm sitting here just like thinking about that journey and how crazy that was. Like, I can't believe that. And I'm trying to think about the delusional action I might need to take right now for some of the different areas, like starting this podcast and just saying, you know what? I don't care if I have a nice camera. I don't care if I have a nice mic. I'm just gonna go. Just gonna do the thing, do the best I can. I'm gonna try and impact other people's lives. But yeah, I feel like it's really, really special talking about that opportunity and talking about how delusional action created momentum in a completely different way. A relationship with an amazing editor to help her, right? How incredible was it that was able to happen? I also think it's really interesting, and this is just me going on a tangent, some delusional action times. Sometimes you don't want to take the action. You're too nervous, but someone else believes in you so much more than you believed in yourself. Multiple times. When I was trying to get on American Ninja Warrior, I didn't think I could get on American Ninja Warrior. But I had a friend, Anne, who was like, Angela, I really think that you should try out for this. He kept bugging me. And I finally put a video in. I took that delusional action for a second because I had a little hint of belief, maybe a teeny bit of belief. Or for this cover up here, you're watching a video here, you can see this Women's Health magazine cover. I had a woman who I was coaching in Rhode Island when I owned my gym, and she kept saying, Angela, you need to put in and submit to this Women's Health Next Fitness Star competition. And I'm like, nobody's going to want me to be in Women's Health. Like, who? Like, I'm this little girl from Rhode Island. I haven't even done anything. She kept bugging me. And then one day I had that little confidence in myself. I took that delusional action and I got picked. I thought it was spam, actually, which is so funny when I got picked for it. I literally looked in my email inbox. I'm like, unless this is spam, this can't be real. I couldn't have gotten selected on this. But I share these stories. I just want to show you what that delusional action can do. And it may not be the instant gratification of what exactly that you want right now, but it's you taking that one step forward. It's you doing that little bit of something. It's you having that small hint of belief in yourself. And maybe after this episode, you have a small hint of belief in yourself for something that you've wanted to do. And you just do a little teeny step. Maybe it's a crazy step like me and emailing everybody. But man, how powerful can that be? And listen, I know it's scary to take action when you don't know if it'll work. I know it's easy to stay in your head waiting until you feel ready, but the truth is the only way you fail is if you stop. The only way you fail is if you don't actually take action and do something. Every step forward, even the tiniest one, is a step closer to the life that you want. So let it be a little delusional. Dream big. Take the damn leap. Because what if it all goes right? So my friend, your job today is to take that one small step. It doesn't have to be huge. It doesn't have to be perfect. I just want you to move. And if this episode really fired you up, I want you to let me know and tag me on Instagram at Angela_Gargano and tell me what action step you are taking today. And as always, keep asking yourself, what if it all goes right?